once it gets light enough, you'll have to let me know how my picture quality is. I'm set up over a giant scrape. I had 5 deer under within 20 yards of that scrape when I tried to climb into this tree about an hour ago. Then about 40 minutes ago, I had another guy come up through the bedding area and set up probably 60 yards from me. All this week, I'm going to try to concentrate on just hunting a buck with the trad bow. And we've got a busy schedule coming here. We're going to hit it all day today, tomorrow, Friday. How's my picture quality? Zach, most of them have been pretty crappy because I don't have good cell phone service. I've got one bar here right now, and hopefully it's enough to get it done. If I was 75 yards further back, I'd have 3 bars, but I wouldn't be close enough to the deer. Set up on a huge scrape. Yeah, I don't want to turn the brightness up on the phone here to see for myself. I just don't want to get picked off. I got set up completely in the dark. All the camera work, climbing the tree, platform prep, everything in the dark today. Guys, don't forget to double tap that screen, give it a thumbs up. That brings more people into the live and gets things off to a good start. Zach, I appreciate that a lot. I really do, from the bottom of my heart, man. There's one thing that I kind of wanted to keep on my mind today, and that is my mental game. I've had a rough go at things certain times in my life. And a lot of times I don't end up in a good spot. And I really put myself down. Do a lot of not self-destruction, more like self-sabotage, where I'll just decide to lay in bed instead of get out and do what I love. I'm trying to build that character base back that just says, hell no, I'm not gonna fall for that shit. Who am I hiding from? I had another hunter come in here about 60 yards from me. I'm trying to stay undetected by him. If we don't see any deer today, maybe he'll never hunt it again because he looked like he was new. He was bumbling around in the dark. Don't think he knew where he wanted to go, and then I think he set up on the ground. I didn't see him climb a tree. Most guys won't climb a tree without a light, so. But we had five deer. I thought one was a buck with the binos in the dark. Right at this, I don't know, within 10 yards of this scrape. So, we're gonna wait till the sun comes up. And it's starting to get there pretty quickly now. We had some rain last night into the early morning. So we've got some drip, but we've got crystal clear skies coming. And then it looks like we're rain free until at least 2 or 3. And then it's only a slight 20% chance. We've got 0 wind. I'm on a point. There's a road 200 or 300 yards below me on this point. There's a lot of mountain laurel and bedding on that edge. Guys, we don't use a gun here. We use traditional archery equipment, and every once in a while a Matthews bow. Salty Cracker, hey, hello, man, how are you? This is a great morning to be alive, man. Alright, dude, I appreciate you jumping in, man. Trad bows. Every once in a while, though, I do like to bring the compound out because it's for self-filming, trying to run a live. It just makes things way less complicated. Just getting the trad bow around a daggum camera arm is difficult enough. Let alone when you're trying to put a phone on deer. Get a camera on deer. Change lenses if you need to. Things get pretty hectic in the tree, and then you've got to have them close. Yeah, guys, give me the double tap. I have no idea what that means, Jones. I'm gonna drink Sambuca. That don't even make sense. Check this spot out. That guy's over here somewhere. Sonny. It's the best I can do. I have something crashing about over there. When I do some scouting, I find a spot that just, from the ground, doesn't make all the sense in the world. And this was one of those spots, like it's on a point. And there's bedding close, and there's tons of acorns. But now that the sun's coming up and I'm in the tree for the first time, I can see the little bit of a saddle over here that runs right up this point. And it has a lot of greener, grassy, leafy stuff. Good food, right? A variety of food. And I imagine that's that travel corridor that a lot of the does are using on the way back from water and up into bedding. And then this is just the stop for a little acorn snack in the morning. Don't forget, anybody that's new on the live, if you are interested in watching an old fat guy hunt deer all the time, live on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. We are trying to do about 3 or 4 lives a week from the tree. Last Monday we shot one live. Good times. after the sun comes up, it looks like this guy's in a perfect spot to cut me off. What's up, Back Mountain? Good morning. We got a big scrape just to my left here. Strong side. I don't know, about 20 yards. All kind of deer under the tree when I tried to get in here and get set up. Yeah, the plan is to hunt bucks all this week. I mean, if I have a slam dunk shot at a doe in here this morning, I'll take that. There's another spot. I found another good scrape. Not yesterday, day before, Monday, and I can hunt that this evening. I think I have pretty good cell service over there too. We're rocking the Method 3. I was completely disappointed with the size of my Latitude X-Wing platform. So I jumped online. I hit up Lancaster Archery, and they shipped me one of the new Hunt Arsenals. I got the extra large 2.0. Weighs in under 3 pounds. I think it's 14 by 12. That way I can stand fully and go to a weak side shot with no issues. And it's lighter than the Latitude X-Wing, which 3 years ago was the lightest thing on the market. I'm not a huge geardo, but I do love to use things that work and make sense. I'm not going to spend $1 million to shed 8 ounces, though. This just happened to be. It happened to be the ticket. I'm just really hoping that other guy in here doesn't mess me up this morning. When I saw his light bouncing up over the hill, it was crazy. I am not a Minute Mountain guy, but I could be for the right woman. Yeah, Jeremy, when I was out Monday, um, I saw two really good ones and then one that just didn't look great. But yeah, they're starting to show up in their usual spots. Uh, I've seen 4 so far this year. Now I'm not checking all the historical ones yet. There's a lot of historical data that I use, and I'll just go into that spot early morning or, early afternoon and set it once we get into the first or second week of October. But these ones that I'm finding now while I'm hunting or scouting, I'm gonna give it an early season go. Someone's in Ukraine. Man, I need a Go 8 point to come in here today. This is in Baltimore County, Maryland. Dang, gee, did he whack it? Dave's Jakes, hey, thank you. How's the EHD stuff in southeast Ohio? Should be calming down here. We gotta get these temperatures down. Yeah, all of these scrapes that I've found so far this year are fresh with deer tracks. The one that I found Monday early afternoon still had wet piss in it. So he worked that early on Monday. The key takeaway for me today is with the rain last night, there's a good chance that a buck will come and work this to freshen it up. They can't stand it when it rains. They have to go and do the scrapes, man. I don't know what it is about them. I started on my 12th birthday back in 1992. If you do the math, that means I'm pretty old. I did take a hiatus from hunting from bow hunting for about 9 years, 10 years. Just did a little pew-pew hunting for a while. But I've been back in it full swing for the last 10 years. Jill, I am starving. No, I haven't hunted in Montgomery. Whisper Mountain to his life. Yeah, I feel for those guys in Southeast Ohio, man. This season's probably shaping up to be nothing but terrible. mean, I know a lot of younger guys. They've got the right folks surrounding them, and they get into hunting the big bucks pretty early on in their life. But I think I'm just hitting prime big buck years. Um, the last 5 or 6 have been really incredible. I shot 2 Pope and young bucks last year with the bow. One of them's just barely, but the other one's like 5 and some change. Appreciate it. Caden, what's up? Yeah, dude, I wish you guys were out here with me. I might work a little collaboration this week if things go right. Hunt with a guy that I met on the live. I don't know. I think a chicken and an egg happen simultaneously. But we'll never know, man. They've been around for a while. You guys want my opinion on the best thing about hunting deer in the rain or when it's wet? You can smell them from a mile away. And I have the faintest scent of tarsal gland. Skeeter, when I get off the live, I'll check out your channel and subscribe. Guys, don't forget, double tap that screen, give the live a thumbs up. The Circle of Life, congratulations, man. That sounds like an awesome buck. What state? I definitely have deer within 150 yards of me, upwind. Every time I get a slight breeze, I can pick up the scent. anybody that's new to the live, we're trying to hunt live 3, 4, 5 times a week. We're going to do it as long as we have cell phone service. To catch anybody up that hasn't seen it, we did shoot one live on Monday last week. We stitched a video with the camera, got a great shot. You want to check out that video? It's posted up. If you want to see more related content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Double tap that screen while you're at it. I think there's another scrape behind me from, and it wasn't here the other day. Aaron, I'm hunting in Maryland. Steadfast, you don't have to watch, man. Oh yeah, Connecticut. Dude, I imagine that's a tough place to hunt. Do you want me to talk real loud? I would say if we had the channel monetized, all you had to do is send me $100 super chat and I'd yell real loud. I sit here all day. All in good fun, my man. Alright, I'm gonna check this other scrape out with the binos. Aaron, I appreciate it, man. Have a good day today. Thanks for waking up with the longbow luminary. I have a doe at 8 yards. She just ran down to the tree. She came past that other guy. She ran up right from where that other guy was at. That happened fast. I knew I could smell one. She ran right over. Right over till she hit my ground set. And then stopped. She wasn't even 8 yards. Why they always come in from behind me? guys able to see her? That would have been an easy shot. Man, I don't like the fact that she came in from behind me. I've got one right now at about 43 yards. She was right under the tree at like 8 yards. She's still standing there just sucking down acorns. I got the wrong lens on the camera. Well, it would have been the right lens, but She's right there, like, she was 12 feet from the tree, man. She hit my ground scent, was like, uh-uh. Got a young doe at about 45 yards. Same situation. Right before she come in, I could smell her. I don't know where she moved off to over here. She's not far, but I just can't see through these treetops right here. As I get a little older, I get a little more patient here. Um, that would have been a slam dunk shot. She was at 8 yards, maybe 8 yards. Almost straight down. Slightly quartering away. It would have been a slam dunk shot with a trad bow. But she just ran up over that hill out of that bedding. Caden, have a good day at work, man. And she may have done that because she caught the wind of this other guy that moved in below me. But if I can't get it on the camera, I don't want to do it. Self-filming will teach you to be extremely patient. And you will have to forgo a lot of opportunities. Slammer of a buck last Thursday evening. You just come in head down, plowing through 10 minutes before legal light was up. I couldn't get the camera on him and grab the bow fast enough to get him. Had him at 14 yards. Like a 120s plus. Could have easily been in that 130 range. And now this morning, this doe at 8 yards, 6 yards, who knows? But I will have plenty of opportunities this year. I'm not too worried about it. But if you're going to forgo those chances, you've also got to spend enough time to make sure you're going to see more deer. And she's probably still over here real close. I just can't see down through that. And it wasn't a fawn, it was I'm going to say it was a 1.5 year old doe. Again, one of the benefits of hunting on a wet, rainy day, you can smell those deer before they get close. I knew there was one there, just couldn't find it. I know the chat probably thinks I'm crazy. It's all good. Guys, we're running a Canon EOS R50. And I think I'm gonna go out and buy an EOS R7 Alpha. If I do that, I'll spring for a giant 200 to 500 millimeter lens, probably an L series lens. Because the only way to get high quality photos and video is to spend some money on a camera. Cell phone works great for lives. It works great for point of view stuff. But anytime you zoom, that digital zoom in a camera, when you throw that in the editing software, it gets bad real quick. Guys, we got 68 folks on. Don't forget to double tap that screen. If you like live deer hunting content, hit that subscribe button. We're going to do this 3, 4, 5 times a week. And we're not like everybody else. We get it done on camera. And the chat goes wild when it happens. We just had a young doe come in, about 8 yards. I think she got bumped by a guy that's down below me, because she came in from behind me. And she ran up over the hill out of this bedding. And as soon as she got to my scent trail, she just stopped, dead in her tracks. Then she moved off to about 35 yards and started feeding. So she's not spooked. And she's somewhere up there. But we came in here to hunt bucks. I'm set up on a big scrape. It was worked heavily when I was in here on Monday. And with this rain, I have a strong feeling that one will come in here and freshen it up as soon as the sun comes up. I could be wrong. things I've been doing more recently is keeping sort of a note section in Onyx. So I've got this tree saved as a pin because of the scrapes. So what I'll do, once I'm done with the live, I'll jump on there and I'll add the notes for today. Any, all the minute details like what the weather was, what the temperature's like, noting the rain from last night, and then I'll put the direction that deer came in from. Josie, what's going on? I wish I had some coffee now. I left the thermos in the truck. That way I can reference this stuff. Reference the details that happened, because I just can't remember it anymore. Talked with some other folks here over the last couple of days about Maryland and the early season stuff. A lot of the crops are still up. Nothing's been cut yet. So there's a ton of deer that just hang out in these ag fields. And in another week or so, when that stuff starts to come down, these deer will be invading the timber. And when that happens, it'll get insane. Man, I hope I don't lose the live. Josie, I'm going to say about 10 minutes ago I had, maybe 15 now. I had a young doe run up out of this bedding area, come to within 8 yards of the tree, and when she hit my ground scent where I walked up to this tree, she just froze. And then she moved off to like 35, 40 yards, and then started to feed. She still may be up there, I just can't see through those treetops. way in, I come in here to hunt a scrape down here to see if we can get after a buck. And there were 5 deer right on this little oak flat when I came in to hang a tree. So a total of 6 so far. We got that deer hunting ASMR going today, baby. William, I'm in Maryland. Yeah, there's a lot of sign right here, Josie. I was in here Monday, kind of windy, and it was left and right. It was like a hailstorm. So when the rest of these crop fields get cut, these deer are going to invade these spots like crazy. Um, we're kind of on a ridge line that comes down to a real gentle point. It's nothing crazy. But we've got a bench down over this bank over here. And it's covered in mountain laurel. It's good bedding. Plenty of food. And 2 fresh grapes. Well, 1 giant one. I have decent cell phone service, so I can do it live. That's good. William. EHD is crazy, huh? That sucks. Not only for this year, but it has the ability to devastate it for a couple of years. See, in Maryland, we don't have that problem. We have too many deer. It's crazy how many there are here. Josie, I've seen, I think about 6 grapes. All of them super fresh, though. And a dozen rubs. I've not seen many, and it was just in the last couple days. Again, though, I'm not hunting very close to any of the ag. Because if I'm close to the ag, the deer aren't in the woods near those areas. They are in the ag, still feeding and eating and bedding. So if I get far enough from the ag and I find acorns, I'm on deer, if that makes sense. Here he is hitting the acorns hard yet. We'll check this afternoon when I get down here after my morning hunt. I'll check some spots. But so far, no luck on that end. there are places down there to hunt, let me know, dude. Because I do hunt these urban areas, but it's not like urban deer hunting. I'm all still in the woods. I would love to try some of that urban deer hunting. Or I'm hanging on some set shooting big bucks out of the back of someone's house. I mean, it doesn't seem too challenging, but it probably would be fun. Tony, we are in Maryland. We're in Baltimore County, Maryland. William, all you've got to do is send me an email to longbowluminary@gmail.com. There's a couple of other folks who have already, they've reached out. They want something done with some dough, so you send me an email to longbowluminary@gmail.com. We can link up. Well, I'm not much of a private ground hunter, but I am all about making YouTube videos, building a community. I would have no problem filming you while you hunt. All you gotta do is subscribe to the channel and then go back into your subscribe list. You'll be able to see the name. And then it's just at gmail.com. And again, if I'm filming you, man, the film quality goes way up. Because I don't have to worry about anything else but film. Yeah, we've seen 1 after daylight, 5 before daylight. Tony, I shot a massive buck down here last year. Well, he's not massive. He's a 135. He had 12 points on him. All that stuff's locked up right now in the previous YouTube channel. I'm in a partnership that went south, and I'm not really at liberty to repost some of that stuff. I wish I could. But you can still check out that channel. It's Pain Train Outdoors. And then I shot a really nice 9-point in Pennsylvania, like a 125. Yeah. Again, Josie, if you guys want to see that hunt, you can go look at it at Pain Train Outdoors on YouTube. We had a pretty stellar channel. Man, it was too. I loved it. Really sad it didn't work out. But in 8 months, we amassed almost 12,000 subscribers. We shot about 16 deer. Had a blast doing it. But we had to go our separate ways, so Here we are starting over. But we're off to a much better start. In the last 30 days, I did what it took us 6 months to do. And it's because of you awesome folks. I got more deer down here in this bottom. Hold on, I got deer. She's just moving through. She's on that transition line, and there's a guy set up on the bottom. Like right around the ridge from her. When she gets downwind to that guy, just like that first deer did, she's gonna come running right up over this bank, right to me. Maybe not, she could run down. watch her come running back up over the hill as soon as I put the bow down. Were you guys able to see her? She was right on that edge. I don't even know how I spotted her. It's crazy how much this microphone picks up. She was 55 yards away, and it's wet, and I could hear her too. William, I am loving the new Method 3. I've also got a brand new piece of gear that I'm trying out for the first time today. It's a Hunt Arsenal Razor G2 extra large, I think is what it is. It's a 14 by 12 platform, so I can stand and turn and shoot weak side. Now that doe was headed right along that edge. There's a guy just over here. So she's on her feet and works around to him and gets his scent. She's gonna run right up here like that first doe did. It'll be quick. But there's sort of a pile of rocks over there where she's either gonna come across the top and end up in his lap, or she goes down the mountain. I think she chose to go down the mountain. I decided to come in here after a scouting trip. DJ, make sure you get in touch with me. I come in here like kind of cold. Never sat it before. I have no info on it. Just what I saw on Monday. This looks like an okay morning spot, but I did bump deer out of here. This is probably an absolute fire evening spot. So maybe I'm gonna hunt it this evening. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the tree for good and I'm gonna hunt it all day. I don't know. I haven't done an all day sit yet this year. I think I have a battery pack to charge the phone. Alright, I'm still recording on the camera, just burning up data. scooting out here at lunchtime and burning down to Best Buy and springing for a brand new Canon EOS 7 Alpha. Whew. Hey, let me tell you. That thing's a beast. It is touted as one of the best wildlife photography cameras there is. As an APS-C camera anyway. And I don't mind running the APS-C because I have a very good low light 50mm lens. I think it's an f1.4 and f1.8. I gotta look at it. That lens is phenomenal in low light. So I think, what, 50 times 1.6 is like, I don't know, 87, 86, something like that. Hey Josie, take care. Get the girls off to school. I'll be here. I'll be here for at least another hour. William, last Monday might have been the craziest ever. I've had some real crazy stuff. I think a lot of us, we love to hunt the rut because, we'll see deer. But I hunted the George Washington National Forest once, a bunch of years ago. And I always label that hunt as the first time I've, air quotes, seen the rut. When you've got 6 or 7 bucks all chasing a group of does through a mountain laurel patch on a ridge for an hour at a time, and all you're trying to do is get one of the bucks to stop when it runs past you so you can get a shot. It's insanity. Absolute insanity. And that place had it all. I mean, I had to wear hip waders to cross a river to get there, then climb up a mountain. No cell service. Nothing. And I think that's my most memorable, craziest hunt. Thousand squirrels running around. Tracy, what's up? Thanks for jumping on the live, guys. I just saw a tail going behind me. I don't think there's any way I spooked that deer. To Bubba, I appreciate it. If you want to see what it looks like when you do it, you can check out a video I posted from last Monday's hunt. We got it done on the live. We almost got it done here this morning. I guess I just set up in the wrong direction. I had no idea all these deer are going to come down from behind me. From my entrance. Again, I've never hunted this. But every deer has come in from behind me so far. Thanks, buddy. I would have never guessed they'd all be coming in from behind me. Sometimes you're baffled. So I think I'm just gonna sit tight here. It's just after 8. I'm gonna get real still and just listen because I can't see very good where they're coming in behind me there. There's a lot of coverage there. King P, get out there and get it done, buddy. But they're all coming in right through all this stuff. And I walk there, so as soon as they're hitting my ground scent, they're like, second guessing their decision, I guess. I think there's another one standing there. Thanks for the well wishes, bro. No shortage on the deer today. Man, how's my cell phone at 53% battery already? When I started this live, I was at 98%. If I gotta start using a GoPro for a point of view later, I'm gonna be pissed. Alright, for everybody that's just jumping on, I'm gonna give you a quick recap. I'm hunting on a point here, on a ridge, a couple hundred yards from a creek bottom, and 250 yards from a road. Good scrape on it, a lot of sign. Snuck in here to the tree. 5 deer under the tree, an hour, 20 minutes before legal. Yeah, thanks for all that action. Give me them 100%. Yeah. I'm looking past the camera, Karen. I'm looking down there. Then we had a guy come in. He set up like maybe 65, 70 yards off towards that point over there. A doe come under the tree, just ran right up under the tree, got to my ground set when I walked in, and she stopped. Could have smoked her. Didn't have the cameras on. Then we had another one work the edge of this mountain laurel thicket, kind of the same direction that first one came from. And then maybe 5 minutes ago I had another tail, maybe 2 deer, but definitely one, right up over my right shoulder there. That deer was like 80 yards away though. I much prefer 8 yards over 80. Marco Hawks, what's up? So, PS2 Max. Everything I do is mobile. I'm a one sticker. I got a single stick with a cam cleat. I run about an 8-foot piece of EM steel full bury rope around that thing. All it is an old hawk helium that's cut to 15 inches. I like that stick because I can cut it and do whatever. It doesn't cost me anything. And the foot tabs fold up, so they're more compact walking through the woods. I've got a Hunt Arsenal Razor 2.0, the large one. It's under 3 pounds. I run a 4th Arrow camera arm with a Canon EOS R50. I got a couple different lenses. I got 2 fluid heads, one for the phone, one for the camera. And I'm doing it with a stick and a string. That's a Bear Super Grizzly. I rarely hunt the same tree twice, although year over year I hunt the same trees a lot. I don't do any presets. I don't trim any branches. I don't do any of that stuff because I hunt mostly all public. If you want to jump on and subscribe to the channel, we're going to do lives as much as possible when we have cell phone service. We're probably going to shoot somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 deer this year. Should be a good time. And if anybody's local to Pennsylvania or Maryland and is looking for someone to film them hunt, you can hook me up with an email at longbowluminary@gmail.com. I'd be glad to spend a couple days in the field doing whatever it takes to help you get it done. I have not done a lot of morning hunts in prior years here in Maryland. It's a long drive. I mean, I gotta get out of bed at 3 o'clock to get here and get up in a tree before the sun comes up. And I'm not usually early to bed. I'm usually a midnight or 1 a.m. to bed. But I've hunted extensively down here in the evenings. So this has been quite an experience so far, trying to get on morning spots. And today, I would think this is a better evening spot. But this spot has been fire. Quite frankly, if I wasn't completely committed to only shooting them on film, I would have killed a doe an hour ago. Maybe a little longer than that. At 8 yards. But But if you're going to self-film, if you're going to build a YouTube channel, you've got to make some hard commitments. Um, some of those commitments include only shooting a deer when you got it on film. A lot of those other commitments, they compile the extra work, the added weight I carry. I mean, I'm carrying 4 cameras on me right now. Probably another 9 to 11 pounds, depending on what all I brought today. Just in extra stuff. You gotta get to the woods earlier. You're gonna leave later every single time. Because it takes a solid 20 minutes being quiet. Set up the camera gear. Seth, yo, bro. Seth, we've seen 8 deer already this morning. Well, I have. I don't know how many you guys saw. Had one at 8 yards, man. Should have just banged it out, but, camera not on. Small water, what's up, dude? You're scrolling to YouTube Live today. Nice to hear from you, man. Nice to see you're still sucking down fresh breaths of air. All we gotta do is keep breathing every day. That's it. Just keep breathing. Seth, I had a guy bumbling around in the dark right over here. I'm in the tree, already hanging up camera gear. Dude comes tromping through the woods. It's probably only 65, 70 yards from me. Yeah. Stu Max. I kind of have a personal limit on that. I'm usually a once and done per day kind of guy. But here in Maryland, in the urban archery zones, you can shoot unlimited deer for the season. You can only shoot 1 buck in a day, but you can shoot multiple does. But quite frankly, I don't care. I don't know if there's a daily limit on does, but I'm only shooting 1. Now, if your boy Seth was down here, I'd shoot 5 of them and make him drag them all out. I honestly feel like I have to do a video series about Seth. Right? There's always somebody that you have the ability to take under your wing and kind of let him shadow you. And I think Seth is kind of filling that role for me right now. Friday, we're going to get out, we're going to hunt together. I don't think I'm going to do a live for part of that, because I'm going to take him into a very ridiculous spot where I'm probably not going to have cell phone service. And we're just going to work them through how my thought process works for each one of these spots. What state's that from, Stu? Alexandra KM, hey, how are you? Welcome to the live. Zach, we've seen 3. But I'm not great at these morning spots here early season in Maryland. I should be 30 yards further back on that transition line. I wanted to set up over the scrapes, but all the does are moving further back. Every one of them's coming from behind me. That's been an ongoing dilemma all season so far. Seems like 90% of the deer that have come in from behind me this year. Yeah, there are places that we've got to do some doe management everywhere. And I'm not opposed to it. I think a lot of places should be earn a buck. But let's face facts, like, there's a lot of guys like me too, who I'm earning a lot of does for a lot of folks. Last year I shot 5 does. And only 2 bucks. One in Pennsylvania, one in Maryland. So I think that's a healthy balance. I would much rather, I would try to get it to 4 does for every buck I kill. I've just been having trouble slinging arrows at fawns with spots this year. Like, I don't want to shoot a fawn with spots. I mean, I do, don't get me wrong. Like, I'd shoot it, but it's a lot of work for 11 pounds of meat. Thanks, Zach. I appreciate it greatly. Deer like lanternflies, just gotta kill everyone you see. No, don't do that. Ay, ay, ay. I haven't seen Bigfoot yet. I did see him back in May, though. I was at a party. It's actually a wedding, right? And we consumed large quantities of adult beverages. And a bunch of dudes were hanging out outside. I kind of walked off into the darkness. And before you knew it, everybody's looking for me. I was a little bit tipsy. Like, I was a lot tipsy. Like, I was probably about ready to find some place and curl up in a ball and fall asleep. And at some point, they started looking for me. Well, then I didn't feel like I wanted to be found, so I go tearing off through the woods, running down this trail. Somebody's getting close. I thought I heard a noise. No shit, it was Bigfoot. And from there, it just got worse. I put my Crocs in 4-wheel drive. I slammed her in high gear. I dove over this bank. And when I hit, I impaled myself with a stick right in the chest. And I hung there as I filleted the meat from the chest bones. And I wallered there, confused, broken, but not beaten, because I didn't let Bigfoot get me. 2 weeks. Yeah, yours is kind of right in line with the Pennsylvania season. Bob Street. Thanks, buddy. Watching me hunt deer is like watching a train wreck. You just can't look away. Early morning ASMR deer hunting, talking about getting your nuts grabbed by Sasquatch. And Bob thinks I'm an idiot. That's awesome. Thanks, Bob. Why don't you go build something? Like a better attitude. Alright. Justin, I don't know what's out here, man. I know I'm out here. And I know everything out here so far has been afraid of me, so. Except after dark. If I run into a deer after dark, they don't seem too scared. Could you imagine me being Bigfoot's girlfriend? I'm the one supposed to be giving the mustache rides, not Bigfoot. I don't know what's going on. I expect it. Alright, Seth. You have a good one, dude. Remember, every morning, deer hunting ASMR with Tony. Longbow Luminary. Peace out, brother. I expected to have a couple of groups of deer come through, but it's all been singles. Like, I thought a 6-pack would come through. I don't know. This early morning bow hunting stuff ain't for me. I'm an evening bow hunter. I'm just doing this for you guys. Sensory vision. How's the quality, Josie? Is it grainy at all, or has it been good? Because it seems like I'm maintaining quite a few folks on. Hold on, hold that thought, Justin. get back to Justin's question, best way to climb. I use a one stick. This idea of carrying 3, 4, 5 sticks into the woods is ridiculous to me. I don't know how far up in the tree I am. I don't measure. I know I have a 45 or 46 foot bow rope. And the reason I leave the actual, my tether and rappel rope is probably 56 feet. So I got some extra length if I've got to do like an SRT or a double rope technique or something. But there are times where when I'm climbing up, I'm lifting my bow off the ground. I'm like, alright dude, you gotta stop because you're 40-some feet in a tree. That's only with the compound bow though. I like to stay between 25 and 30 pretty much all the time. And I would need like 6, 7 sticks to do that. So I single stick. I use one that I made. I made it out of a hawk helium stick. I cut it down to 15 inches. Then I drilled new holes for the steps. And the reason I like the helium is because the steps fold. It's real easy to drill 2 holes, put a cam cleat on there. I run an 8-foot piece of AM steel that's double buried. It's got a loop on one end, a big stopper knot on the other. You jam that in the cam cleat, you're good to go. There's a three-step altimeter on there from Eastern Woods Outdoors. In my opinion, it's probably the best aider you can buy. It is pricey. You're going to pay the money. You can probably build it for $6 and they charge $50 for it. But I suppose they do. That's a good company, Eastern Woods Outdoors, and they've also they've partnered up with Hunt Arsenal to build a new solo stick. I have one maybe on the way, and I also have a Hunt Arsenal Razor 2.0, the large one. And while we're talking gear and setup, I gotta mention the Latitude Method 3 is by far the only platform, or the only saddle I think that's an option. Everything else is just uncomfortable, my opinion. But what do I know? I've only spent 1,400 hours in one in the last 7 years. Alright, it's pop quiz time. Can anybody name a single human being that spent more time in a tree saddle than Tony? Thanks, James. Appreciate it. No. The only person that spent more time in a tree saddle than me is John Eberhart. He's the only one. I'm making that up. I don't know if he's the only one. I know he's one of. Alright, we got more blue jays going nuts. Angel, what's up? Yeah, we got 2 more weeks is open. I'm ready for that cool air, man. B&W is an awesome time. Well, it's an awesome place this time of year. Colt, I'm in Baltimore County in Maryland. Bro, I wish I get my PB on live. That would be sick. That's gotta be a buck of a lifetime. Detroit, not too much. I may have to just suck it up and hunt turkeys more. But if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it with the recurve. Why not, right? Justin, I am on public. I am just off of 83. Near Pretty Boy Reservoir. Josie, I couldn't be happier to be out here doing it myself, man. I appreciate it. I can't wait till the Pennsylvania opener. I am so stoked. I have this tree I gotta check out, but it's like a guarantee, man. And I don't mean just like a guarantee for does. It might be a guaranteed 140 on the first night. Like, I passed on this buck last year, and I kind of put a buddy on him. And then he went in there, and then with the trad bow, shot a button buck first. So that deer is still around, I think. How big is it? I don't know, I haven't seen him out of velvet. Last year he was mid 120s, 125, 128, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty good at estimating them. There's some videos of him on Pain Train Outdoors. And there are some videos on my TikTok, my Instagram, and then I don't know if I made a video about him on this YouTube channel yet. I'll tell you what, if you subscribe, I'll post a picture to the community page later on today. Like when I get home. And then you tell me what you think he scored last year. I think out of the Velvet, he's gonna be close to 140. That's just my backrest. So like if I'm leaning back, it's there. But all that doesn't support my weight. Usually when I have deer coming, I just let that thing out. Here's how we shoot. The that strap there, that's the bridge, right? And I have no trouble with the bridge, never have. I can even shoot weak side. I have more problems with camera gear. If something is going to foul me up and I'm not going to get a shot, it's because of camera gear. One, because I don't have it on, or one, because I'm fiddling with it, trying to get a deer in focus, or any of the other 8,000 things that can go wrong when you've got a deer at 8 yards. DJ, did you shoot another one? Guys, just so everybody knows, TJ shot a deer when he was watching my live on Monday morning. The chat went nuts. He posted a pretty good video. So if you get a chance, go over to his channel, check out that little short he made. He made a great shot on a deer. I'm really proud of what he does. He's a good dude. And he's a great support. Like he's really been a great support system for me. Yeah. Alright, TJ, go over there and get it done, man. Thanks, Josie. He's a good dude, man. Possum, how are you? We're getting her done, buddy. We're gonna get her done today. I just heard a loud crash down here in this bottom. Well, I've figured out why my live stream is working so well. The phone is able to roam right here a little better than other places. But it is eating through my battery. Usually I can go live for a long, long time. 3-4 hours. I'm down to 35% battery right now. That's ridiculous. Jack, TJ in those three counties on the eastern side of PA that start on, I think they started on the 22nd. Yeah, there's an earlier season there for all those counties over there. Abraham, I also 90% of the time have a battery pack. The challenge is if I've got to charge the phone, then I lose audio for the mics, which is fine. I don't care. I still have audio on the Canon. All right, TJ, go help your mom, dude. You'll stick with a summit. Yeah, I don't blame you. I can't remember the last time I fell out of a summit. Heck of a good stand though, man. I used a summit for a long time. Yeah, look, dude. I hunted with a guy. I saw him climb up a tree one time without his harness on. I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "What? It can't fall while I'm climbing." I'm like, "Bullshit." I lost the bottom of the stand twice in, I don't know, 20 some years of using them. And both times without a harness, I'd have been in rough shape. Nah, I probably climbed 35 or 40 trees a year for 20 years. Only had 2 incidents, but that's all it takes is one, man. Yeah, that's if you have the harness on. I mean, you can, and I've seen so many videos of guys doing it, and it's usually no fault of the user. It's just sometimes, like their red oak when they're wet are extremely hard bark trees, and the climbers just don't bite in, and they're slick. Both times it was a red oak. Both times it was raining. Both times I used protection. Possum, what about this? Into that kind of bow hunting. Yeah. just get one and start slinging arrows. That's all you can do. Ben Pearson, did they stop making bows? Are they still making bows? Yeah, I shot a lot of deer. I've shot some pretty nice bucks over the last couple of years with the compound. And in January of last year, I shot an 8.5 or 9.5-year-old doe that had a collar on it. They put the collar on that deer in 2019, and they believe that she was at least 2.5 years old. I shot her from the ground at 18 yards. One of the most incredible experiences I've ever had. Yeah, I know a lot of them, they stopped making in the 70s and 80s. I want to buy a Hoyt Satori. I really do. Josie, a lot of the modern bows, it matters a little bit less whether you take the string on or off. But if you're not going to shoot it for 4 or 5 days, then yeah, I take them off. The old all wooden bows, you take that thing off every time. You know what else is from the 80s? This guy right here. Boy, you guys are legit chatty today. I love it. You guys hype me up, man. For some reason, deep inside, I kind of regret not shooting that doe this morning. And I don't often do that. But for some reason, I'm like, yeah, I probably should have shot that deer. 1991. You're just a baby. Just a baby. 34 years old, probably. Josie's I think she's quite a bass fisherman if I'm correct. Yeah. I do math quick. I love those guys out in the feeders. I mean, you do you, but this whole process for me, I'm done shooting deer just to shoot deer. I've shot a lot of deer, a ton. Um, for me now on, it's about life experience. It's about sharing it with some folks. It's about teaching some folks, and it's about challenging myself. And there's nothing about it, to me, that seems challenging to put feed out for a deer. find a big buck. You figure out where he's bedded. You spend 7 or 8 days chasing him all through his home range, trying to kill him with a trad bow. That's hunting to me. When you got 30 other people trying to kill him too. Something's happening here somewhere. Wait till he turns outdoors. You need to get out more. Yeah, Mr. 420 to you. I agree with you. It's all about being in the outdoors. Yeah, Jesse, a lot of it, you're going to have to learn a lot of it on your own. But anything that you can pick up that helps along that path is good. Everybody's going to have their own way. They're going to look at the woods different. They're going to read the terrain different. They're going to figure stuff out that works for them. Like I said earlier, I've kind of been struggling with these morning hunts because I'm not usually a morning hunt guy early season. I'm morning hunting the rut. But early season, I'm almost, for the last 10 years, I've been nothing but an evening hunter. So just trying to get my setups dialed in this season has been a little challenging. This morning, I'm 30 yards off. I did have one under the tree at 8 yards, but I should be back on that transition, another 30 yards behind me. I'm all about taking lots of does. Josie, I'm not buying into too much of the scent control. I do have an Ozonics machine. I'll run that when I throw my clothes in a box in the truck. But other than that, I'm not using any sprays or anything like that. And we're in CWD, so I can't use urine-based scents or anything. Thanks for the subscribe. Abraham, man, sorry you didn't connect on that big buck. I had an opportunity to shoot one at 14 yards on Thursday night. I couldn't get it done. I wasn't fast enough. He'd come in and just never stopped. Thanks for the sub. No, alright, I did forget that too. I just use a scent-free soap. It doesn't matter what you use. I think because it's just easy to find, I use the dead downwind stuff. But any scent-free laundry works. You don't have to get, like you can go in the regular aisle and get scent-free laundry detergent. And I'm also careful about not putting my clothes in the dryer if there's been a fabric softener in there the last load. If I have to, I'll wash a load of towels and run the dryer. Put the towels in there to get the dryer smelling a little less lemony fresh, I guess. My scent control is Play in the Wind. Now we know where all the deer came in, right? They all came in behind me. Right over there. You see how my wind's blowing up that way? I expected all the deer to be coming this way. But I rely very heavily on playing the wind. I mean, I burn through 2 of those a season and I'm puffing on that thing all the time. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Josie, I don't buy into a lot of that other stuff. Here's a cool fact, and I'll probably leave you guys with this one here. I bought my first trail camera in 2015. I think 15 or 16. And then I piled in some trail cameras. And by the time 2020 was rolling, or 2019, I probably had about 16 of them bad boys. And in 5 or 6 years, I never used a trail camera to locate a deer that I then shot. It never worked out. Now, I don't know for does because, yeah, I might have shot a doe that I had on trail camera, but I'm saying for bucks. And what's interesting about that is I have somewhere in the neighborhood of about 30,000 trail camera pictures over like 6 or 7 years. So if that information I was getting wasn't helping me to track down and shoot a buck, it wasn't helping me, I viewed it as a waste of time. I hung up those trail cameras. I used a couple in like 2019, 2020. But the time I started putting the trail cameras away and focusing on sign and really playing the wind and looking at fresh sign, like there's a difference between sign and fresh sign. I started killing big bucks. I think trail cameras add a lot to the noise. It takes away from the woodsmanship, and you lose a lot. Now, obviously, if you've got a big farm somewhere and you've got a bunch of cell cams out, and you can collect data from deer that you know bed somewhere and then travel somewhere to eat, I think that'd be extremely helpful. But for hunting public in the mountains of Pennsylvania or in this stuff in Maryland, they're practically worthless and everybody steals them anyway. I said what I said. I don't care. I spent a little too damn much money on cameras. Let me clarify that. I wasted money on cameras. I don't know his name. He follows me everywhere I hunt. I wish I had persimmon trees. It sounded like a fat groundhog or a fat raccoon just fell out of a tree. Alright, just to recap for everybody too here. Make sure you double tap the screen, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. I'm going to try to do this 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 times a week if I can. Cell phone reception is a big thing. And I'm thinking about getting a second cell phone, so I've got 2 angles to do my lives. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret. On the way in, we had 5 deer under the tree. We had a doe at 8 yards at about, 40 minutes after daylight, 30 minutes after daylight. Then we had another doe walk down this ridge behind me. And then we saw a tail bounce in there maybe a half hour ago. But it's been a lot of fun. I love the chat. I hunt near White Oaks. If I haven't gotten to your questions, I apologize in advance. A lot of times when I'm looking for deer and scanning, I'll miss stuff. But I will get to you if I see it. I appreciate everybody for jumping on. We're calling it for this morning. And we're going to go look for a better place to set up this afternoon. So we hope to see you guys then. Thanks a lot.